Hello, SpongicX here, and today I am going to be playing Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed on Steam. So this came out 2 years after the original Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and this one was pretty good too. This one is slightly different from the original. It has very similar gameplay, but this one has a really cool gimmick that was said to be inspired by Diddy Kong Racing. Now, Diddy Kong Racing was one of the first racing games to let you do more than just race in cars. It allowed you to race through the air in airplanes, race through water in hovercrafts, and so this game, they thought it'd be cool to have it where you don't have to choose your vehicle to go across these areas. You can actually have your vehicle transform in certain levels in order to progress further, and that really adds to the gameplay of this. It really spices things up how, like on the first lap of one level, you're probably driving across just a regular road, and then lap 2, all of a sudden, like, the road breaks and you're forced to fly through the air. Or sometimes, like, a flood occurs and you gotta race through the water. And, yeah, this game was very creative, and I think it was because this game set itself so high. This was one of the main reasons why some people weren't too thrilled with Team Sonic Racing, because it just felt dumbed down compared to what this game already accomplished. I mean, this one, you had more than just Sonic characters playable. You had other Sega characters from many different franchises, and you have the transformation gimmick, where Team Sonic Racing had less racers and just simple racetracks. It no longer had this gimmick, and Team Sonic Racing was an okay game, but in comparison to this, though, yeah, it wasn't as good in my opinion. Not a bad game, though, but it really had a lot to compare to this. Okay, I guess this one doesn't have an announcer then. I couldn't remember if it did or not. I know the first one did, and that got kind of annoying, so.
Select a mode. Career.
Aside from, like, the main menu and all that.
Select a tour. Sunshine Coast. Select an event.
Wait.
Select a tour. Select a career mode. GP. Select a cup. Dragon Cup. Choose your difficulty. C-Class. Character select.
So let's see, we got quite a few characters missing here that were in the original, and I don't get why Shadow and Eggman aren't by the other Sonic characters. I think it's because they were hidden characters, but in the first game, when they were hidden characters, at least for, like Knuckles was a hidden character, for instance, and he got added straight next to Sonic and the other, so yeah, this does feel kind of strange, but. So, yeah, we got, Big the Cat is no longer here, but we got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Shadow, and Eggman. And then we also have a few other strange characters here. So, returning, we got I, Beat, Beady Joe. For the first time ever in the series, we got Mimi from Super Monkey Ball. Ooh La La returns. Wreck-It Ralph? Yeah, that was quite a shocker. Yeah, so you had a Disney guest character in this. Unfortunately, they did not get John C. Reilly to reprise his voice. We got Amigo here. Danica Patrick from NASCAR. Yeah, no one was excited for her. Shadow, he ditched the motorcycle, unfortunately, but it is kind of cool how his vehicle's like a gun tank almost. Vice from Skies of Arcadia. I have never played that series, but I've heard of it. I heard it was good. Dr. Eggman. I just can't help but think a lot of these vehicles are dumbed down compared to how they looked in the original Team Sonic Racing. Or Sonic and All-Stars Racing, I mean. But Gilius from Golden Axe. I don't think we had a Golden Axe rep in the original. They wanted to, though, but they couldn't figure out how to get him riding on a beast. And so in this one, they said screw it and just gave him a vehicle. Here we got Pudding from Space Channel 5, and hard to believe, I could have sworn she was in the first one, but I guess not. I know she was in the Sega tennis game, so was Mimi. Joe Musashi, I can't remember what series this is from, though, but I know it's from some kind of ninja game on Sega. Not Ninja Gaiden, because that wasn't a Sega game, but. Okay, Gum is back. I think she was in the first one. I'm not sure if she was, but she was at least in the Sega tennis, but. Knights is a playable character, or should I say a playable cart, and yeah, that's just creepy. Yes, I know Knights can shape shift and stuff like that, but yeah, I would have rather just been able to control Knights driving a vehicle. ages. This is such a strange hidden character, and yes, it's Sega spelled backwards. Metal Sonic, he was originally a DLC character in the first one, but if I'm not mistaken, he was available by default this time, and you might have had to unlock him, though. Oh, Alex Kidd is in this game. I could have sworn they cut him out, and Billy Hatcher, unfortunately, is no longer here. Shogun, I have no idea who that is, and then all of these bottom characters are exclusive to the PC version, and yeah, some of these are just really weird choices. Some of these I've never even heard of. Football Manager, okay. Team Fortress, this one's kind of hilarious, but General Winter, I have no idea who that's from. Williamus, what? I have no idea, and Ryo from Shenmue is back, and I could have sworn there was another character here. I guess they got rid of him. Like, if you reinstall at a later date, I guess, without installing it, I guess you can't get it anymore. But there was some weird, really cartoony guest character in this, and I think he was supposed to be some kind of a webcaster or something like. He was some YouTuber or something like that, and yeah, that felt like the strangest choice. They don't seem to be here anymore, so strange. But sorry, I wasted a lot of time at the character select screen, but. So, unlike the first game, this one allows you to unlock mods for your vehicles to help improve stats while sacrificing some other stats in the process. And sometimes they feel like a waste, though. They just feel like they don't enhance your vehicle because so many of them are shortcuts. When you improve one stat, it decreases the others, and so there's almost no point in changing the stats. So yeah, already this one looks a lot better than the original Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Just looks a little more colorful and vibrant. And then, since Knights is no longer the flag waver, they gave Rice Star that role. Remember Rice Star? I only remember him from Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection. He had such a weird game. He was for Sega Genesis. It was a game where the character, all he can do is stretch out his arms and grab things and throw things, and really wasn't that good, though. It got old really fast, but still kind of fun to see them use that character. Oh shoot, I took the wrong path. Once again, they have to reuse the Sonic Heroes themes. Another Seaside Hill level. But this one actually is pretty exciting, only because of the stage transformation. Yeah, not only do the vehicles transform, but sometimes even the stages will transform. And oh man, the drifting's a little trickier in this game. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when you let go of a drift, you really gotta fight the controls a bit. They felt a little smoother in the last game. And they entirely replaced the item roster for some reason. In the last one, you had a lot of wacky items. This one, you have even wackier items. It's just so strange how it's like there really aren't any returning items as far as I can remember. There might be, but out of the top of my head, I remember most of them are completely different. And I mostly remember the blowfish and the firecracker, but a lot of these, it's like, oh yeah, these were in that game. I originally had this game on Wii U, but I sold it for the PC version. Here we go, the first transformation scene in the game. Sonic's car just turned into a boat. Yeah, the water effects look pretty good for a racing game. I was pretty impressed when I first played this on Wii U. Yeah, I think this was the first game I got when I got a Wii U. This was like a game that I got with my console. It was a mess when it first came out, though, because it needed like a day one patch on the Wii U, and there were certain missions that were unplayable until that patch got fixed. So, a lot of people had to wait forever to unlock certain characters because the game wouldn't let you advance forward until that update was available. But it probably arrived about like a week or two after its release, though, and after that the game was working just fine, but man, that was annoying.
Evaded swarm. Finish. Superb driving. First place. Results.
Strange how I lost all my data in the first Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing on PC. I could have sworn I had a 100% save file on that, but for some reason that wasn't there when I replayed this game the other day. But my save file still seems to be here at least.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
So if I'm not mistaken, most of the racetracks in this game are brand new, but they do have some returning courses in this game. Unfortunately, they got rid of the feature to unlock additional soundtracks in this game, so if there's a song you don't like in the background during a certain level, tough luck, you're stuck with it. And that was what was kind of cool about the last one. It allowed you to unlock additional songs in mission mode, so it allowed you to play different Sonic songs in any Sonic level, or any Samba song in any Samba level, and yeah, it's a shame that that feature is gone. But yeah, I forgot the trick button is different in this game. I keep thinking you gotta press the L trigger, but if I'm not mistaken, you gotta use the right analog stick in this version. So. No wonder my tricks haven't been working. There we go. The trick system's a lot better in this one, though, if I'm not... It's easier to pull off tricks in this game. It's too bad we never got more racing games like this one. I think the transformation gimmick is greatly underappreciated. It's nice that they finally made some racetracks that weren't representatives in the previous racing game. So, for instance, we actually get a level based on Nights into Dreams, and that was one of the most memorable and trippy levels in this game. And I remember that I had a lot of fun in that level. It was just so cool. Then you had one based off of the Afterburner series, and it feels like you're driving through like a dogfight in midair and all that. It was so crazy. You're like driving across like battleships, and you see all like airplanes in the background and all that. It was crazy. They even have a Skies of Arcadia level. What was the name of that one? What was the name of that one dragon game for Sega Saturn? Like, it just recently got an HD remake on Switch, if I'm not mistaken. Panzer Dragon, I think that even has a level. In fact, I think that's the level that they teased at the opening cutscene of this game. That's what the racetrack the characters were racing through in that opening cinematic. Unfortunately, there is no Sugar Rush level, so you think despite how Wreck-It Ralph is a guest character, no, there is no Sugar Rush racetrack, and that's kind of unfortunate, but... So, this video game came out around the time when Wreck-It Ralph first came out, so this wasn't around the time when its bad sequel came out, so... This was still when Wreck-It Ralph had a good reputation, and... that sequel was disappointing.
Results.
And then you can unlock some coins in the games, and you can use them to go at a slot machine during the loading screens to get a free power-up to start your race. And okay, here's the Afterburner level.
Get ready.
is our first airplane segment in the game. And boy, what a fun level to start it off with.
Transform boost.
And yes, I'm aware there are shortcuts in these levels, but I don't like taking them because I usually mess up when doing them, which just slows me down even further. So I'm better off just taking my chances.
Transform boost.
Now, I've never played the Afterburner series. I was introduced to it, like, I first heard of it back when playing, Sega All-Stars Tennis, because I remember there was, a level where you were actually fighting, well, you were playing tennis on the back of one of the airplanes, and that was such a weird idea for a level, but kind of cool, though. And I'm guessing it was an arcade, kind of like, an airplane kind of game, warfare and all that, but an arcade shooter. I could be wrong, though, but I'm just guessing by how I've seen these appear in the video games. So I've only ever seen or heard of the series in the crossovers, but
Leading left.
similar to Super Smash Bros., they have it where a crowd can cheer for, like, whoever's been, you know, like, in the lead for so long, and that's kind of a cool touch.
Transform boost.
As far as I know, there's no way to shut off the commentator here, but luckily they're not too bad. They're just more of an announcer. Ah, shoot.
Transform boost. Transform boost. Finish. First place. Awesome. Results. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go! Low pitch.
Yeah, this was definitely the level that was first shown in the opening cutscene. Never played this game, but I've seen footage of it, and it looks a lot like Star Fox, except you're riding on a dragon instead of a ship.
Hot rod. Great combo.
What?
Check this out.
That's what I love about this game. It always changes things up. Not every single lap will be the exact same thing over and over. And that really adds to the gameplay. This is a real adrenaline-filled rush kind of racing game. Yeah, these graphics still look really good. It's definitely a step up from what we saw in the previous Sonic Racing game, and dare I say, a lot better than even Team Sonic Racing's visuals. These power-ups are just way too random for a Sega game. At least the first one actually had a few that were themed after Sonic the Hedgehog, including the shield and the running shoes, but this game, it's like there's nothing about these that really resemble Sega games. Yeah, I like how, you know, this is like the first stage we've seen where it allows you to use one of each transformation throughout. First lap was on land, second was on sea, and then the third is in air. That's kind of cool. But so far, each level we've seen at least had two transformations. Well, one transformation. Usually it was car throughout, and then there was something towards like the middle or end that changed it, or in the middle of the race that caused you to change it. But here it's like, no, each lap is a completely different vehicle, and that really makes this a unique racetrack. And eventually you'll even get some vehicles that can't be driven by car. If I'm not mistaken, the night level, that one was mostly an air level, but occasionally it might have had some boat sections, but I don't recall there being a car section at all in that level.
Finish! Superb driving! First place! Results!
The award ceremony isn't as good as the one from the previous Sonic Racing game, though, because that one just had, you know, better music in the background, and this one just feels slower and quieter. It doesn't really feel like a celebration anymore. This is awkward.
Select a cup. Rogue cup. Choose your difficulty. C class. Character select.
Let's see, I'll play as Amy this time.
Amy. Standard. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, the character models on this game still look really weird. Like, there's something about the lighting and shading on some of them that just looks really off. Like, there's something weird about Amy's eyes there, the way the light was reflecting off of it. That did not look natural. I love how Ryo's, he actually has, like, Outrun playing in his vehicle, because he's driving an Outrun arcade cabinet. That's crazy. Now, if I recall, Ryo was not in the console versions. You could only get him in the PC version. And I remember fans were kind of upset when they first played the game that they were asking, where's Ryo? He was in the last Sega racing game. And dang it. Ah!
Transform boots. Twister.
Ooh, this room is pretty, but dangerous. What did she say? I won't dilly-dally?
Transform boots.
I was not a fan of Cindy Robinson's voice as Amy early on in the series, like back when she was still giving her that whimpery voice, the Minnie Mouse-like voice. She got a little better over time, but early on she was unbearable.
Transform boots.
Bees!
Evaded swarm.
Yeah, luckily the Super Monkey Ball stage in this game, or stages I should say, aren't as bad as the ones from the previous game. I already mentioned how I did not care for the ones in the last game because they just require too many 90-degree angle turns, which just is not suitable for a racing game. Turns are supposed to be curves, not, you know, bump into a wall and lose all your speed and all that. It's ridiculous.
Outstanding! First place! Results!
So this stage is based off Sonic Colors.
2, 1.
So finally a Sonic stage that is not Heroes related. That's cool. Whoa, that was close. Now, this isn't a bad level, but I think it goes on a little too long. This is a pretty lengthy racetrack. Oh, that was a really cool effect, though. I think that's just a background thing, and then it actually turns into the stage when that ship pulls in. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this one really knows how to change things up to keep you awake. It's like, not even Mario Kart has a lot of levels like this. It's like, the closest thing you have to it is the volcano level from Mario Kart Wii. That was the only one where it, like, collapsed on you. Otherwise, it was mostly the same race. It just got harder every time the further you go, but still. This one's got so much going on, not only on the racetrack, but in the background and in the gameplay, and this makes this one a little more memorable in certain areas. I can imagine not everyone will like this game or be good at it, so I think that's a good reason why you got the original Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. That's for those who just want a simple racing game with high speed and all that, but then for those who actually want something better, something more advanced, then yeah, Team Sonic Race. I mean, I always say that. Transform, that's a really good way to go then. But.
Outstanding. First place. Results.
Shinobi, that's the name of the ninja game, and if I'm not mistaken, this game had some very bizarre boss fights. Like, wasn't one of them called, oh, I can't remember, Spider-Bat or something like that, and it was like a cross between Spider-Man and Batman, and that was really weird. Remember, I saw that in a video recently, and it's like, that's such a weird boss fight. I'm guessing Shogun is a villain from the Shinobi series. Just a wild guess.
Combo. Double roll. Awesome combo.
So just a heads up, new Pokemon Snap comes out on Switch at midnight tonight, and I want to confirm I did pre-order it, so I do plan on doing a playthrough of that sometime. And I won't have it in time for it though, but I just want to confirm I did order off the internet a wireless headphone with a microphone, so from now on I can do live recordings while doing my gameplays from now on. So that can help get things done a lot quicker. I no longer have to go through each and every one of my video gameplay all over again just to add in my voice and all that. That'll make producing these videos go by a lot quicker. And even then, video producing is still lengthy though, because I'll still need to probably like cut out parts that maybe drag on too long, or maybe my voice might have slipped up during a part and I'd want to cut that out, or so yeah. So, but still, that'll definitely be a big load off my back.
Triple roll. Great combo.
for right now, I can only do live recording on microphone when I'm playing on my PC, because my microphone can reach that from that level, and unfortunately, it is not the best microphone, though. Like, it's got good quality, but I feel like it always, it either makes my voice come out too quiet or too loud, and I can never get a good balance for it, and that's unfortunate. And like, I felt like in the last video I made, my voice was too quiet compared to the actual audio of the gameplay, and unfortunately it didn't give me an option to record the audio separately with NVIDIA, so I had no choice but to record it in the background. And I tried turning down the volume for this game, and it didn't really seem to do much. Like, I went to the audio system settings and turned down the Steam audio, but I guess I didn't turn it down enough. Maybe I'll have to turn it down a little more next time, but so I apologize if my voice is still hard to hear in this video, but I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm new to this. I haven't really done live recording in a long time, or ever for that matter, but I've only done post-recording, you know, post-production recording, where after the video was recorded, I add in my commentary, and that's not always the best way to do these things, because not only does it take longer, but you're no longer doing live reactions, so it feels kind of phony. I want to feel like my reactions are live, so
Awesome combo. Nice. Finish. First place. Awesome. Results.
got one more racetrack for this cup. Skies of Arcadia level. I've never played that, but I heard it's very similar to like the Tales of games. It's a JRPG, and I know like one of the characters was possibly their design was possibly an inspiration for Styx the Badger. Because in that game there's this girl, and she fought with two boomerangs, like these oversized boomerangs, and she had very similar hairstyle to Styx. And I remember a lot of people point that out. They thought Styx was a nice little shout out to that character from Skies of Arcadia. And it's kind of funny. Direct hit! Woohoo!
Blowfish. Transform boost. Drone.
If I recall, this part of the level is really tricky, though. It's real easy to accidentally not see what's upcoming, and you can easily accidentally drive off into the water or something. And unlike most levels, you do not turn into a boat when you fall in the water in this level, unless it requires you to. But there's certain parts where it won't let you turn into a boat. And shoot! Man, ooh la la is hot on my trail. Whoa! Did I? Ah, dang it! I thought I got her.
Blowfish.
Bees! Oh, not the bees!
Baited swarm. Double roll.
Woohoo! I love how you can just do tricks into the boost. It just looks really cool to spin to do a boost. And oh, what was it? Oh, I'm glad it pushed me in the right direction. I was trying to drive around that, and it was forcing me to drive through it. Luckily, it didn't stop me from make me bump into something. But, ooh, that messed with me for a bit. Ooh, this game is giving me a rush. I love it. This game is still so cool after all these years. I'll bet it's more fun for those who are actually familiar with these other Sega games, but I may have never played Skies of Arcadia, but I can imagine fans of that would have loved this level. I used to love JRPGs, but I really lost interest in them. A lot of them just feel too similar nowadays. It's almost like you played one Final Fantasy, you played them all. So I recently, revisited Tales of Vesperia. I used to love that game, but it wasn't... Like, the gameplay's still fun, but the story was more boring than I remember. It was just too cliché and too repetitive, and I felt the same way about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I was bored throughout most of that game, and it mostly felt like you were just walking through tight hallways and corridors throughout the entire game, and occasionally you got some fun little combat segments, but then they dragged on too long, and I don't know. I was really not a fan of it.
First place. Results.
I used to love even watching the cutscenes in the Kingdom Hearts series, and now it's hard to rewatch them now. They just drag on way too long, and they were more fun when you were kids, but then when you get older, your attention span just isn't as low as it used to be, and you just feel like you've seen this crap before too many times, and it's just not interesting to rewatch anymore. Still love the Kingdom Hearts for its gameplay, though, but not a huge fan of its stories anymore. Kingdom Hearts 3 just killed the story for me, and
Select a cup.
oh wow, there's 10 cups in this game? Wow, that's a lot more than the original.
C class. Character select.
Let's see, let's go with Tails. Oh man, he has terrible speed stats. I knew he was slow in the last game, but oh man, this is bad. I guess I'm gonna sacrifice some handling, see if that helps. And I hope I didn't make a big mistake, but man, you wish Tails would be a much better character to play as, though, but he's really slow in these racing games. And okay, this is one of my favorite levels in the game. This is just so much fun.
2, 1, go.
So trippy. I don't know, maybe that's a game I'll have to do a playthrough of sometime. Not only the original Knights, but even its sequel on Wii. And they were kind of challenging at times, though, but they were kind of fun. It's kind of sad we never got like a real HD Knights game, like one made for modern day consoles, because yeah, they did remake the first one in HD, but it still used very simple graphics, and it played too much like the Sega Saturn version, and so it would be nice to get like one made from the ground up. And it's like the Wii one looked really good for a Wii game though, but it wasn't HD though. I remember playing the Wii one. I thought it was pretty fun. I still have that game, in fact. For me, the most annoying part of Knights, though, were the boss fights, because they punish you if you lost at them. You have, like, a time limit for them, and then if you lose that, you're forced to start the entire level over, and some of those levels can be really lengthy, and yeah, I wasn't a fan of that aspect. The gameplay was fun, but its gameplay structure, like its requirements and limitations, were a huge pain in the ass. That's the only thing that held the game back for me drastically, but
Transform boots. Double roll.
But I'm pretty sure this level is mostly inspired by the Knight sequel, Journey Through Dreams, because in that one you had like a boating minigame where Knight's turned into a boat and you had to steer him down, or steer it, because yeah, Knight's is gender neutral. He's only the gender of whatever, you know, Knight's is basically a character who only appears in the dreams of children, and so Knights will only appear as the gender that suits the dreamers, basically. So if you're playing as the girl character, Knights is a girl, but then if you're playing as the boy character, Knights is a boy. But it is kind of a neat idea, because Knights isn't really a character who exists. It's who, you know, he's just formed out of dreams. But what makes no sense, though, is how either way he always sounds like a girl. And I know it's like how they whenever you're playing as the boy, they refer to Knights as a he, but then whenever you're playing as the girl, they call Knights a she. And it's like, okay, but why does he always sound like a British lady then? Why does Knights always sound like a girl no matter what gender Knights is? That's just so weird. And yeah, that's another thing. That shocked me when I first heard Knights speak, because I was not expecting him to sound like a lady. And Knights to sound like a lady. I gotta remember that. Gender neutral. And I love how each lap has a different nightmare to go through. It's like the dream parts of these levels are always the same. You're going through like that weird bizarre forest with all the strange hills and trees, and then the last act is always the boat ride. But then in between you go in the nightmare zone, where usually you went through the boss fights there in the actual game, and that's a really cool way to mix this level up. And if I'm not mistaken, the last phase is based off the final battle, the final boss in the game. I can't remember his name, but he kind of feels like a ripoff of Nightmare from Kirby. Yeah, I can confirm this is still my favorite level in the game, and we're only through the first 2 laps. So. I can imagine if you were someone going through an acid trip, this level would not be fun to go through. People would be freaking their minds out.
Transform boots. Double roll. Triple roll. Drop. Double roll.
Hard to believe this level is one of the first racetracks in this. I mean, hard to believe it's one of the first racetracks in this cup, because yeah, this feels like it should have been the final level of a cup, not the first one. This one's just so good.
Results!
Huh, so there's a Billy Hatcher level in this game, but no Billy Hatcher. That's weird.
3, 2, 1, go!
Once again, it's based on the Snow World from that game. Man, even with a speed boost on his mod, it's like Tails is still slow as hell in this level. Ah! God, that was so unfair. The fact I was even able to catch up with some of the people in the back is mind-blowing.
Transform boost. Great job. Firework. Transform boost. Reverse long shot. Blowfish. Ice.
Uh-oh.
God, these bees are hard to avoid. Wow! Hard to believe I actually made it past that.
Ice. Transform boost. Firework. Blowfish. Triple roll. Transform boost. Stunt fail. Firework. Double roll. Stunt fail. Double flip. Transform boost. Finish. Outstanding. First place. Results. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go! Jet set radio! Throw!
Yes!
What? Yeah, the glove is kind of a cool item because it allows you to catch an item and shoot it back. Gotten that power up so many times during this playthrough, but haven't really got a chance to show it off yet. Until then. Damn.
Hey, if you're gonna be in the spotlight, you might as well put on a show, right? Ice!
How am I losing to a tank in a race? Tanks are slow as hell. There's a reason why people use the term tank controls to describe bad controls in games.
Twister!
Yes.
Yeah, it's too bad they make Tails a bad racer in a lot of these games. He really does not have good speed at all. Even the heavy racers are faster than him. While I do like this game, one thing that definitely dawns me about this is some of the racetracks are just way too long. I mean, it's nice that they tried mixing things up in some levels by changing the game, but man, some of these laps just go on way too long. At least could have some of these races by having them just be 2 laps long or something, but nope, all of them have to be 3 laps long, and that can make some of these levels go on way longer than they need to.
Stunt failed.
What?
Finish!
Race to the
First place. Awesome. Results. Level up. Mod unlocked. Get ready.
Oh, another Sonic level that's not based on Heroes. I forgot this was in here. So this is based on Sky Sanctuary from Sonic and Knuckles, I think it was. Never made that far in that game, so...
Firework. Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's like, this is a level that Sega's also reusing to hell a lot. I mean, It was brought back in Sonic Generations, it was brought into this, it was brought into Sonic Dash, if I'm not mistaken, or Sonic Forces Mobile. And yeah, that's a problem. When Sega relies on nostalgia, they only rely on nostalgia from, like, just one level from one game in particular. Because it's like every time they have to bring back a reference to Sonic 2, they always have to do Chemical Plant Zone, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a level that everyone hated, actually. Sonic and Knuckles, it's always this level. Ugh, it's so annoying. You know, Sega, there were more levels than just Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant, and Sky Sanctuary.
Nice.
And then that's the thing, people want Sega to make new levels, not keep relying on recycling themes, and that's what was really annoying about Sonic Mania. They thought, okay, we've already done these levels of depth, so let's mix them together. It's like, Sonic Generations got a pass because that was excused as being a celebration game, and it was remaking those in good graphics, and yeah, it did its job. But Sonic Forces, that was just overkill.
Evaded swarm.
Fans waited years for another Sonic game, and that was just disappointing, and who knows when the next Sonic game is ever going to get announced, but...
Throw. Ice. Clean lap.
I could imagine some little kids probably had problems during the flying segments in this game, because they make the world look a little too open, so... It's like, luckily for me, I was able to see the signs of what is considered part of the track. For this level, it's mostly the direction the wind is blowing. It gives you a hint of where you're supposed to head. But, yeah, so I can imagine little kids are just going to see, like, the giant death egg in the background. They're going to want to fly towards that and then get bummed out when the game prevents them from doing that. And sometimes racing games can do that to you, though. Something in the distance catches your eye to the point where you want to break the race just to see if you can make it there, and then it's disappointing when the game punishes you for trying to explore. I remember, like, Diddy Kong Racing, I once wanted to explore, like, the ocean and the hub world, and then I kept banging into an invisible wall, and it's like, oh, that's torture. And to think how far video games have gone nowadays, they have it where video games can allow you to even break the limits of certain levels sometimes. Go beyond what you're supposed to, but sometimes it's a little dangerous to do that, though, because then you go so far out that there's nothing to see. And it reminds you of why some games actually do have those invisible walls, because they don't want players to get stuck or lost, and they want them to only be on what was programmed to be explored. But some games do a really good job at managing to make the horizons explorable. Breath of the Wild, for instance, it's like almost everything you see in the background can be reached on foot or by air, and yeah, that is quite an achievement for a lot of video games. Problem is, though, that some games make their levels way too big, though, to the point where they're boring. It feels like you're just seeing the same trees and hills over and over, and that's kind of the feeling I got with Breath of the Wild after a while. It's like, at first it was really great, but then after a while it feels like you've seen everything, and it feels like you're just doing the same shtick over and over, and that's one reason why I kind of miss games that had a linear... Like, I miss platforms that were linear but had a bit of a sandbox feel to it, and I think Mario Odyssey, for the most part, did a good job at mixing those two. It didn't feel too linear, but it felt open, but not too open to the point where it's easy to get lost. And I thought that was a great game, and we need more platformers like that with other franchises. But yeah, let's play as Knuckles. He does not have very good acceleration, unfortunately, so let's give him an Excel boost. I'm not really sure, like, what the difference is between speed and acceleration. Like, some people say acceleration's, like, the ability to start up fast or something like that, but either way, it's like, it's good to have a racer who has well-balanced or good stats for both. It's like, if you have one over the other, it's not gonna be, it's like you notice the difference, and it's good to have a racer that has both, speed and acceleration. But handling can also be important, too, but... Knuckles got rid of his dirt bike, and now he has a three-wheeler. Kinda liked his last vehicle better. This is like a reverse three-wheeler, though, because it almost looks like he's driving a bike backwards, but... Oh, wow, is that a gargoyle? Yep.
Back off, or you're gonna get hurt.
Oh, this part, you gotta watch out for the lasers. If you actually get struck by it, it actually shows the character skeletons. At least for some of the characters. I've only seen it happen with Sonic and Amy before. Huh. Whoa, I thought that chandelier was about to fall on me. One big-ass spider.
Ice.
Not sure if it's possible to fall off the roof and keep driving, but I'm not gonna find out. I think it stinks that they got rid of Travis Willingham as the voice of Knuckles. I loved him. He was a good replacement for Dan Green. I did not like his new voice in Team Sonic Racing. He just sounded dumber than the one in Sonic Boom, and that was the one who was intentionally supposed to be dumb. Oh, yep, you can see the character skeletons in this game. So not much different during that second lap, except during one of the sewer segments, it allowed you to see like one of those Hydra things. But okay, this is different though. We went into a wine cellar. That wasn't there before. Whoa! Ah! Now this third lap is entirely different. Well, oh, I thought that was actual oncoming traffic. I didn't realize that was Ulala. Was she in dead last or something? Or... Wow, she was. I somehow managed to make it all the way back to her. She was all the way back in dead last, and I somehow managed to drive so far that I reached her. Wow. She must have really been doing bad that race. That round. Whatever. Golden Axe inspired stage. Oh man, that would be scary driving on hot lava because just one little splash and you're dead. Yeah, racing on lava is not very realistic, is it? But it still makes for a cool action set piece. Are we at the center of the earth?
Transform boost. Ice.
I was just, what is she, a Pokemon? It's like I get past her and she shouts, Pudding! Yes, that's your name! Do you want a lollipop? I don't know.
Firework.
Into a snake's mouth. Oh, this part is real easy to mess up on, if I'm not mistaken. It's real easy to accidentally bang into the fangs. Yeah, I really don't know what Pudding's deal is, but I remember in like Space Channel 5, she was like a rival to Ulala, kind of like a, you know, a bitchy villain who just kept halting your progress, and you always had to do dance-ups with her, and I especially hated her in like, the only one I ever played was Part 2, because they had the HD remaster of that on PS3, and unfortunately, we're probably never going to get Part 1 ever re-released, and mainly due to Michael Jackson's involvement with that. Sega, you know, it's like that's one of the main reasons why people think that Sonic 3 is never going to get a re-release in HD or anything like that, because you know, it's believed that some of the music was helped made by Michael Jackson, and so Sega, they just cannot make a, you know, they're too cheap to pay like the licensors of Michael Jackson to have the rights to use his music in their games, and so it's like, it makes you wonder, okay, why can't, okay, maybe for Space Channel 5 I can understand, but for Sonic 3, why don't they just remake the music then? Redo it. I mean, yeah, it sucks for those who actually like the tracks, but it's like, what choice do we have? It's better than just banning that game from ever existing again.
Transform boost.
But yeah, Michael Jackson was actually a character in Space Channel 5 Part 1, and so that's the only reason why we never saw a re-release of that, and the only reason why they skipped that and went straight to Part 2. And, but yeah, I remember there was one level where you had to face a Pudding up in space, like Ulala was using a jetpack during that, and I could not get past that part, and I gave up on the game after that. And it's a shame. It was a fun game up, but some of the things were just really punishing in that game. It was a rhythm game, and it really punished you just for making the simplest mistakes, and it only gave you a few tries, and a few mess-ups, and then the level's over, and they're pretty lengthy levels, too, so, yeah, I lost interest in that game, but I wanted to keep playing it, but, just wasn't worth my patience. And I think the only revival that series has had lately was there was a PlayStation VR version of it, and I'm not sure if it was any good though, but I really barely use my PlayStation VR. I mostly only use it to watch 3D Blu-rays, but even then, PSVR was very disappointing. The visuals are just way too low quality. It almost looks like you're watching a comic book. Like whenever you see the color red or blue appear on screen, it looks way too speckled and pixelated. And yeah, it's too bad they couldn't have made a more crystal clear VR experience. But because I could see like under some things it could have looked really cool, but problem is it's just too blurry and pixelated. It takes you out of the immersion of being in a different world. And but it was mostly fun just for watching on YouTube. But some of the games, I could not find a single game that worked with PlayStation VR because the text always came out too blurry, so it was impossible to read, and some of them were just plain nauseating. I tried playing Skyrim VR. That was a game that came with my VR headset, and I sold the game not long after. As soon as the first dragon appeared in the game and it flew over your head, I ran to the bathroom and threw up. Oh, that was... I was not willing to go through that again, but I did play like some of the VR demo experiences that came with it, and those were kind of cool. Not enough to actually want you to keep going back and playing, but it showed you what VR was capable of. And yeah, it's too bad that PlayStation VR was very underwhelming. I mean, it is one of the most affordable versions of VR for gaming, though, but still, you're probably better off just saving your money to get Oculus or something, because I've never heard anyone complain about the visuals on that, and unfortunately, I've never gotten a proper VR experience. I hear one of the worst ones out there is the Nintendo Labo VR. Not only is it really low quality, but it's very uncomfortable because you have to keep holding it up like binoculars. That's really unfortunate, and that ruins a lot of potential VR on Switch could have had, because people want to use the Joy-Cons as motion controls, not use it like binoculars entirely, and it's Nintendo Labo, built with flimsy cardboard that's bound to break over time. So yeah, Nintendo really shot themselves in the foot when it came to their first VR experience that wasn't Virtual Boy. A part of me hopes that someday Nintendo can get VR on Switch right, or the next Switch at least, and because Switch would be the perfect console for VR. I could definitely see it where you just stick the console straight into the VR set itself, and then you use the Joy-Cons as the motion controllers, and if they can get it working, that is, because yeah, the Joy-Cons are not the best motion control peripheral out there, but if Nintendo can eventually get a console that can do it right, one that's based on the Switch would be perfect for VR. Because, yeah, PlayStation VR is really annoying because you have to have it set up to so many different ports, and you have to have it set up to a box and all that, and you have to make sure the right cables are in the right slots. And luckily they label them, though, but still, it is a lengthy process of getting that hooked back up. And then the PlayStation camera is a huge pain in the ass. It cannot stand up straight. There's something about the cord where every time I put it in, it causes the camera to turn in a certain direction. So I have to force the camera to lean into something. And, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of PlayStation VR. It is more complicated than it needs to be. Knuckles threatened to punch a girl. I like that she just asked, like, what are you doing after he did that? It's like, even she was shocked. I love it when that happens in video games, when characters, speak out of context next to each other, and it just makes it sound like they were responding to each other. Like, I think one of the funniest examples was in Sonic Shuffle. It's like how some of those event cutscenes appear and they reward Knuckles like a few rings, and he doesn't get a whole lot, so then he says, "Is that all you got?" It's like that's what he says every time he wins a minigame, but the way he words it after those events, it makes it sound like he's disappointed in the amount he got, and so he's asking for more. Is that all you got? Yeah, could you imagine Knuckles? Put everything in the bag right now! Give me all you got in the cash register! That feels so weird.
You'll have to take this corridor.
Like, this level's not bad, but I think the first Sega racing game did this level better with an underwater gimmick. There was that Seaside Hill level where you drove underwater through those tubes at one point, and that had more cool scenery. And this one, it's... Oh, I do like how it's starting to flood and blow up, though. That's a nice touch, but... Yeah, this one's definitely more action-packed. It feels almost like you're driving through a James Bond movie, but... That being said, though, I think the scenery was a little better in the first Sonic Racing game, but... This is still a neat action level, though. Gets crazier the further you go. Bees! Too many bees!
He's made it swarm.
Whew, that was fun.
Results.
See, one more race for this cup.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Wait, I could have sworn this was the last racetrack in the game, but we're only on the third cup if I'm not mistaken, so, huh. Yeah, I could have sworn this was the last racetrack, or maybe there was another one similar to this, I don't know, but... I'm not sure how to describe this level. It's almost like you're racing across a datascape, like, a visual representation of the internet or something. It's got all these circuits and stuff like that, and you got all these little holograms of Sega franchises, though. Little shout-outs to other Sega games. Like, there's this 3D model of Sonic, and he looked really weird there. It looked like he saw some shit. The way his eyes looked, he looked sad and scarred. Some kind of arcade cabinet, and then we got afterburner planes flying overhead. Yeah, maybe there's another level like this, because I could have sworn one of the last levels was like this, but it was much harder, though. Oh, whoa, whoa. So I could have sworn like there was one where like the racetracks were just way too narrow, and I don't know, maybe this is the level but I remember there's a level a lot like this one, and maybe this is the one I'm thinking of, I don't know, but...
Super pickup. All right.
Maybe this is the last race track, and the other cups are just like mirror cups or something. I'm gonna have to find out, and if so, I apologize, because if they are mirror tracks, then I'm probably gonna have to wrap up the video early. I'm not gonna bother just showing the same levels over and over. I just want to go through each racetrack once, and as far as I know, I think this really is the final racetrack, though, and the other cups are mostly just mirror cups and all that, but... So I know Team Sonic Racing kind of did something similar. It did not have a lot of racetracks, and it kept recycling them by mirroring them and all that, and they thought that was enough to fill up a roster, and that was really stupid. Yeah, this is definitely the level I'm thinking of, because these turns are really tricky, especially if you have a character who cannot turn well. If you have a character with bad handling, they are not going to do well in this level.
He made it.
So I guess I was wrong. If this really is the last racetrack, and yeah, this game has less racetracks than the original Sega racing game, though. But at least most of these are more original, though, and maybe that's why they tried making them so long, but at least they have transformations, though, to mix things up. But like I said, it's hard to say like which of these racing games are better. I said both are worth getting. The first one is good for those who just want a simple racing game, but then Team Sonic Racing is for those who want something a little extra to spice it up. Ah, shoot. Thought that was a speed boost, not a, well, speed gate, not a laser trap. Oh, when they're blue they are, I guess, but I'm not sure if they'll give you a speed boost when they're blue, but when they're red, they'll definitely hurt you at least.
Firework.
Damn bees. I find it strange how they didn't bother using the buzz bombers, you know, Eggman's wasp-like robots. That would have made more sense. Why are they just random oversized bees? They don't even look like bees, they look like hornets.
Twister. Blowfish.
I mean, why is there a blowfish as a power-up? Is this supposed to be a shout-out to Echo the Dolphin or something? I don't know, but... Oh, how strange would that have been if you got to play as Echo the Dolphin? That's one of the strangest Sega games out there. And it's like, at first glance, it just looks like a realistic game where you control a dolphin, and then all of a sudden, it's like the final boss is a freaking alien. It's like, what the heck is this game? Echo has psychic powers or something like that? What? I've only played bits of the original on Genesis, but I remember seeing screenshots of the Dreamcast one back in the day, and I thought the graphics on that looked beautiful. And hard to say if they still hold up, though. I can imagine they look good for their time, but yeah, not every Dreamcast game has aged incredibly well. Back then, people thought Sonic Adventure looked really good, and oh man, that game has aged kind of badly, no matter what port you're playing, whether it's the original or even the DX version. The visuals, they were technically impressive for their time, though. They tried achieving a lot that wasn't common. Like, that's one of the earliest examples I can think of a video game that tried having, like, lip sync with the voice acting and all that. It wasn't very good, though, but at least they tried. It had a really long, engaging story, and yeah. But it was a glitchy mess other than that, and that's why people are begging for a remake. They want to see a proper version of that game. But Sega doesn't give a care about us, do they? Trippy. Okay, I'm not sure, but I do think that was the last racetrack. But we'll find out by looking at the other cups and see what they have to offer. But actually, I do think there are more racetracks. There are retro cups, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I forgot about that. I knew there were more racetracks in this game, but I was trying to... I guess that was the last of the original racetracks, and then the rest are rehash levels from the first game, if I'm not mistaken. Because I know they rehashed, like, one of the levels from Sonic Heroes, and, like, the casino level, and I know, they had a rehash of one of the Samba de Amigo levels, so, yeah. We're not done yet, never mind.
Select a cup.
Arcade cup, so classic cup. Yep, there we go. Oh, okay, there's only one classic cup, so yeah, I guess the rest of these are really mirror cups, but we got one last cup to go through, and it's just Wow, I could have sworn there were more classic cups than that, but nope, there's only 4 more classic levels to go through. Then the rest are mostly just mirror mode. So yeah, this will definitely be the last round, and let's go with Shadow.
Shadow. Acceleration.
Oh darn it, I forgot. This was when he is voiced by Kirk Thornton. So I hate that version of Shadow.
3, 2,
Oh well.
1, go.
Not a fan of the song they chose for this version of the level. I like the default track they had in the original Sega racing game for this level, and I hate how, unlike the first game, we don't have the option to change the music. And the original theme for Samba de Amigo suits this level so much better, and I feel like this song is a little out of place. It doesn't match the visuals very well, or the action going on. It just doesn't sound right for a race.
Firework. Long shot.
I've got this.
Blowfish. Evaded swarm. Fireworks.
Dang. Knights will not give up.
Blowfish. Ice.
Wow, during this entire playthrough, I don't think I've witnessed a single all-star mode, or whatever they call it, the all-star power-ups. They weren't as good as the one from the first Sonic Racing game, though. They're really toned down this one. The first one, they almost had like kind of like a cutscene intro, but I think they cut it out because they were forced to cut that feature out in the multiplayer mode because that caused problems. I can kind of see, though, because you know, it basically interrupts the gameplay to show the characters doing a little cutscene to activate their attack. And yeah, it's really cool and flashy, but that'd probably get real disruptive for multiplayer modes. And it's like, yeah, they make sure that activating those will protect player 1, but will it really protect like player 2 or something? And yeah, I can kind of see why they had to cut it out of the multiplayer mode, but still, it's a shame that they're just so boring in this game. Almost all of them are the exact same thing. It causes the characters to automatically accelerate forward, and they usually have some kind of projectile attack. So Sonic, he'll be able to do a homing attack to attack enemies while accelerating forward. Amy, she'll keep throwing out a bunch of hammers. And yeah, it's just not as flashy as what you got in the original, where each character had like a unique gameplay changing alteration for their all-star abilities, and it's like that's gone in this game. Almost everyone has the exact same ability now, and it was even toned down worse in Team Sonic Racing, where all it does is cause the character to speed forward while their theme song plays in the background, and that's it. It was even worse in Team Sonic Racing. It was just a glorified speed boost, but no more attacks. Well, you did get a ram over people, if I'm not mistaken. You got to whiz right past them, but it still wasn't as fun as shooting projectiles out or stuff like that.
Go for it. This.
Yeah, like, when they said classic courses, they weren't kidding, because these don't look like they were remade at all. It looks like it used the same graphics and textures and low-res lighting as the original. And, I mean, you could definitely tell a lot of the other new additions in this game were much better looking, and this looks exactly like the game that predated this by, like, 2 years. And
Great combo.
well,
Low pitch.
those bees were easy to avoid.
Low. Triple roll. Double flip.
As far as I know, these are the only levels that have no transformations whatsoever. They didn't bother adding transformation segments, and I mean, even Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did that. They tried to find ways to add zero gravity gimmicks to levels that really didn't need them, but since this game's big gimmick was transformation, they didn't bother doing that for some reason. So if I'm not mistaken, this game definitely predates Mario Kart 8. This came out, you know, this was like a launch title for Wii U after all, so Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at least came out like a year or two after the Wii U, and I can't remember when exactly it came out, but I know for Switch it was practically a launch title. It came out not long after the Switch, if not the same day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't a launch title, but it was in the opening window, because there really weren't a whole lot of opening titles for Switch. There was Breath of the Wild, which is also for Wii U, and then there was the awful 1-2-3 Switch or whatever, and yeah, I'm glad I never bought that. I heard that was a huge waste of money. $60 for what was basically a boring tech demo. I mean, even Wii Sports, although it did get retail versions eventually, despite how the game was always packaged with Wii's, at least additional copies were only $10. That was like one of the cheapest games you get, and yeah, it wasn't much, but it was worth $10 though. It still has some replayability depending on who you ask, but personally it's not a game I'd want to go and revisit all the time, but it's like, it worked though for its time. It was kind of fun. Then you had the Wii Sports on the Wii U. That was a joke. They wanted you to pay like a membership for that or buy it all at once, and it was more expensive. That was stupid. Santa Park. Yeah, I remember there was a funny Easter egg in the original PC version of this and the Wii version of the original Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. But in this level, there was unauthorized use of a fan art, and so like there were these playing cards, and they had portraits of different Sonic characters. So like for the Queen card, it was supposed to be Amy, but For some reason, in the PC version and the Wii version, it was replaced with a fan art. Well, it was a fan art of Sonya the Hedgehog from Sonic Underground. And so it almost comes across that, like, the people who were supposed to look for images for this just went onto Google, and they thought, you know, they knew they needed an image for a pink hedgehog because they thought it was Amy. You know, they were trying to get one to match the playable character in this game. So they saw a picture of Sonya and thought that was Amy, and they didn't even bother checking if that was official art or not. And so eventually, you know, the creator of that art pointed it out, and Sega was forced to remove it. And so the PC version, it has a permanent update that makes it impossible to, you know, get the original default image. But the Wii version, it's still there if I'm not mistaken. And oh my god, that's embarrassing. But looks like they did update the card art in the Transform version though, because I remember the images were very low res, but maybe it was just my graphic setting on the PC. But they look a little more HD in this game, though, and dang, I missed a power-up. More bees. Wow, I think I just drove right through one like a ghost.
Lean left. Swarm!
I remember this game had a very brutal mission mode, just like the first game, but what's more annoying about this one is there are characters who can only be unlocked in mission mode, where in the first one I thought some characters were locked behind mission mode, but no, all of the characters could be bought in the shop with in-game currency, but I guess the only unlockables in the mission modes on the main one were the additional music tracks. I can't remember if there were any other additional unlockables, but here it was mostly just like the mission mode on here was like a road structure. You had to complete a certain number of missions in order to get to a mission that had a character unlockable, and like I said, for Wii U owners that was impossible the opening week because the game was kind of glitched at one point. There were certain levels that were impossible to complete in mission mode, and so people had to wait for the update to patch that out.
Get ready. 3, 2.
Now, strangely enough, I forgot about this level. This was a DLC level in the original. Because I was going to say, yeah, for a classic level, I don't remember this one. This doesn't look like the other Egg Fleet levels, but yeah, that's because this was a DLC level that came with the same DLC that came with Metal Sonic, and as far as I know, that was the only DLC in the original. But I think there was a DLC near that game or this game that allowed you to play as Ryo in a forklift or something like that, and I don't know, but I think this is supposed to be the Death Egg. That's what this level is. I remember it came with the Metal Sonic DLC. But yeah, I almost forgot about this one. I was playing Team Sonic Racing, and you think I would have come to a point and say like, I could have sworn there was another level, but unfortunately, I do not have the DLC of that for the PC version, and I don't really think I'm going to waste my money on just that. But I originally bought it when I had the Xbox 360 version. I don't think this game really had any DLC, as far as I know. They claimed like there was a there was a day one edition where it came with Metal Sonic and all that, but other than that, it's like that's it. And oh yeah, there was an optional level if I'm not mistaken, but I don't think it was used in any of the Grand Prix Cups. But I'm gonna have to see if that's in the level select. I remember there was a level based on Outrun. It was like a beach level kind of, and I'm gonna have to see if that's still there. But if I'm not mistaken, that was that was part of the day one edition. But they said the day one edition only included Metal Sonic. That was the only way to get Metal Sonic as a playable character. But since Metal Sonic was already here in this game when I just started up, I think that might be safe to assume that the day one edition was just a ploy to get people to buy this game. I mean, didn't they do the same thing with Sonic Forces? They said like day one edition you'll get extra avatars and all that, and it seems like every version of the game is day one edition. I'm not even sure if Sonic Lost World was a day one edition either, because I remember when they first said you could only get the Nights DLC if you pre-ordered the Wii U version, and they didn't even have an option for buying it in the Wii U online store. But then for the PC version, it came bundled with the Nights DLC, and it wasn't even DLC anymore. It was just there from the beginning as an optional thing. But there was a catch though. You always had to earn like a certain number of points by playing the game in order for that level to reopen, because it mostly is a bonus level. It rewards you with a lot of rings, which can reward you with 1-ups, and so they want you to earn your way to keep playing that level. And yeah, that was like one of the only good things I had to say about Sonic Lost World, the Nights DLC. The rest of it was garbage. Was not a fan of that game. This does feel kind of pointless for a DLC track, though, because it really does feel too similar to the other Egg Fleet levels from Sonic Heroes. And yeah, they're claiming it's the Death Egg, but overall it's mostly like the same like obstacles and layout. It's got the same like high-tech looking floors with glowing lights and the egg ponds roaming around, and has kind of like a dark sky setting and all that. And it's mostly is just a rehash of those levels. And not enough of it is there to warrant you have to pay extra to get this level. But I guess that's why they bundled it for free in this game as one of the classic levels. But I'm not saying it's a bad level, though. It's just, why was this DLC? It really didn't feel like it needed to be made. And the only unique thing I have to say of this is that view of the Earth. Otherwise, this just feels like a rehash of the other three Egg Fleet stages we already saw littered throughout the original Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Okay, and as far as I know, those were all of the racetracks for the game. But let's see if, out of the cups at least, but let's see if there is that Outrun stage I mentioned. I remember that was a level in this, but it might only be available in Track Select. Let's find out. First, the award ceremony. What's it? Amy, you're looking the wrong way. Oh, never mind. They were parked in circles. Okay, and in the last game they were parked into straight lines. I thought Amy was looking the wrong direction, but I get it. Never mind. Well, yeah, she is looking the wrong direction. She's not eye contacting any of the winners. And why are they looking at the winners from the back? Shouldn't they be seeing them from the front or something? Weird. Yeah, I like the award ceremony from the first game a lot better. Okay, let's see. Time attack or single race?
Choose your track.
Well, there's bonus tracks. Yep, I was right. There are outrun levels in this. So there's a regular and a mirror. So, okay, before I wrap up this video, I'm going to go through one last level.
Character select.
Let's see, I'll go with Team Fortress this time.
Team Fortress.
Ooh, they do not have good acceleration though. But.
Balance.
So what's so cool about these characters is they swap party members whenever they transform. So that's kind of funny.
Get ready.
So yeah, hard to believe this wasn't a default stage. Outrun was like one of Sega's like big arcade racing games back then, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that the first appearance of Sonic the Hedgehog, or like he appeared as a little ornament, or that might have been another kind of racing game from Sega. But I do know Sonic did make a cameo in an Outrun game. One of the 3D ones, he appeared as like a Mount Rushmore figure, and I remember actually playing that level once when playing one of those old arcade cabinets of that game. And yeah, I'm glad this level wasn't just a false memory. I knew for sure there was an Outrun level. And I remember even the Sega tennis game had a level based off Outrun. You were just playing tennis on a beach, and it's kind of a funny setting. But you're wondering, what does this have to do with Outrun, though? Yeah, Outrun did have a few levels where you drove by beaches and all that, but so yeah, when you're in the boat, you turn into Heavy. And originally we were the Pyro, and now we're Demolition. Heavy weapons guy. They even gave him his laugh and all that. That's brilliant. I'm trying to think who the other transformation is, like during flight. I want to say it's probably Scout. I can't remember, but I'm not sure if there are any flight segments in this level, so we might not get a chance. But yeah, Team Fortress 2, I can't say I'm the biggest fan of that game. Like, I just never really got into any of those online war kind of games. But I do have a soft spot for the characters and all that, though. I've seen some really funny, promotional videos, or some of the Source Filmmaker videos people make with these characters are really funny. And
Firework. Dominate.
dang, more bees.
Evaded swarm. Ice.
I remember one of my favorite Team Fortress videos was the one about Meet the Pyro. That was just so funny, because you see like how in his head he's like just spreading joy to everyone. He's like giving out candy, and he's just doing everything to make everyone happy. But then it shows in reality he's burning everything. He's just he's literally a pyromaniac. And I remember thinking it was so dark but so funny. Really twisted. You are so small! You're dead, not big surprise. Yep, I think it's safe to assume there are no flight sections in this. The first 2 laps are the exact same thing, and if I'm not mistaken, the 3rd lap is the exact same thing. No transformations, aside from the boat. More bees at... they already spawned like in this part of the level earlier, and now they're back.
Invaded swarm.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Ice.
Well, that was Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, and yeah, it's a good successor to the previous racing entry, and I even think this is better than the following, Team Sonic Racing. I mean, the follow-up, but, yeah, otherwise, the levels can drag on quite a bit, and it's unfortunate that there aren't too many racetracks in this, but otherwise, it's got a bigger roster in the last game, although some favorites might be missing. They got rid of a lot of characters, but brought in some new ones, and even some guest characters who were quite unexpected. But yeah, overall, it's a good game. It's worth getting. It's worth playing. I definitely recommend it. It still holds up. Well, that's all I have to say for now. Thank you for watching. See you next time, and have a great day.